Hello. Thank you for joining for another episode at Investing with All I See is W. Thank you. Today, I wanted to make this video to share with you my overall insights on a company, Inovio Pharmaceuticals, by the ticker INO, and why I feel so big on this company in terms of its share price possibly shooting up to approximately $50 per share. Now, why am I forecasting such a high share price? Well, the fact that this company has promised everything it's done so far and has proven to everyone so far that everything it's stated is correct and factual. I feel like it's continuing to trend up, and you see that with its share price being reflected. Not recently with the prior month where its share price had dropped from mid 30s now down to close to mid 15 range. So we've seen a tumble for the last 5 weeks. However, that's not to say that the current share price will remain below its 200-day moving average. That will likely not happen. And I personally feel like Inovio is going to pop, meaning it's going to have its bullish run coming soon. And as an existing investor, that sounds like great news, right? Because we always hope for the bull running moments so that our share price can increase. But for, like, let's say non-investors, those who haven't bought into the company yet, I think these are good buying opportunities to get in and then just park your money and then just hope for the share price to continue to increase, hopefully to the prior resistance value. Now, why is Inovio a good ticker to go into? Well, one, its share price just dropped like more than 50%. Two, it's demonstrated that one of its vaccines had just got the orphan drug designation green light from the FDA using the DNA vaccine technology. So that just shows that their product works, right? Now, INO 4800, which is the COVID-19 vaccine that is pre-approved, currently being evaluated for safety and efficacy, that vaccine administered on about 40 patients, on healthy patients, has proven that it's safe and that it works and that it's tolerable so far. So now it's just a waiting game for the FDA to allow Inovio to go on to phase 2 and phase 3. Now let's look at the charts. Now currently we're looking at Inovio Pharmaceuticals. The share price at the end of Friday on August 21st, it was $14 with a share price drop of 5.11% at like 76 cents per share. So the fact that most companies in the biotech industry, at least the COVID-19 stocks, most of these companies dropped enormously, and 5% was considered a low share price drop. I feel like Inovio during the past week, it hasn't dropped that much compared to all the other biotech companies. And to me, let's look at the recommendation trends. There's 2 financial analysts recommending a strong buy and 4 financial analysts recommending as a buy at this time. And according to price targets on Yahoo Finance, the average price target is $19, which is $5 away from the current price range right now, with the current set price of $36. So that's good news. Now let's look at the current status of the INO 4800 vaccine experiment that is in the clinical trials. So what we're looking at is government related information from the United States National Library of Medicine in the clinicaltrials.government website. As you can see here, safety, tolerability, and immunogenicity of INO 4800 for COVID-19 healthy patients. This was last updated August 12th, 2020, with the sponsorship of INO, collaborator of CEPI. We know that CEPI had sponsored this phase clinical trials with a portion of granting. And once this data looks good and it's validated, and then it allows for the sponsor to move forward, then CEPI will continue to provide funding, I'm sure. Alright, now let's look at the information here. So the study description. So this is an open label trial to evaluate the safety, tolerability, and immunological profile of INO 4800 administered by intradermal injection followed by electrophoration using Selectra patented 2000 device in healthy adult volunteers. So the drug is the INO 4800 in combination with the device for the delivery of the drug, Selectra patented 2000 device in phase 1 trials. So as you can see here, the active enrollment has 120 participants, non-randomized, and this is phase 1 open label study to evaluate the safety, tolerability, and immunogenicity of INO 4800, a prophylactic vaccine against SARS-CoV-2 administered intradermally followed by electrophoration in healthy volunteers. And if you want to learn more about electrophoration and then how the INO 4800 vaccine is made, take a look at my previous video, and it's called Overview of Inovio Pharmaceuticals Deep Dive. So you can look into that. It's a 17-minute video on Inovio Pharmaceuticals, but it'll give you a deep dive analysis on the company and its method for DNA plasmids. Now let's continue to look down here. So as you can see, the drug INO 4800 will be administered to patients on day 0, and the second administration of the INO 4800 will be given 4 weeks later. And what's important is, especially for day 0 when the vaccine is delivered intradermally and then electrophoration is performed using this Selectra device, it's important to see if there's any onsets of symptoms from patients or any visual observations around the injection site. And what's important was the fact that there were like 4 adverse event reported, but the classification of the severity was like deemed level 1, which is like considered lowest risk. So that's the good news from, at least for Inovio Pharmaceuticals, in terms of safety adverse event reporting. Now let's continue here. So in terms of concentration, based on the experiment for group 1, 2, and 3, we see group 1 participants receiving 1 injection of 1 milligram of INO 4800 using the Selectra device. And then for experiment 2, there's a 2 milligram per dose visit, which is a difference. And then for group 3, there's an injection of a 0.5 milligram of INO 4800. So as you can see here, the number 1, 2, and 3, 1 is given at a 1.0 milligram, 2 is 1.0 milligram, total of 2.0 milligram per dosing visit. 3 is 0.5 milligram of INO 4800 followed by the electrophoration using this Selectra device. Now the outcomes based on the experiment will to be measuring the percentage of participants with AEs, like I mentioned, percentage of participants with administration site reactions, like what I mentioned, and that's up through week 52, 1 total year. Percentage of participants with adverse events of special interests, that's a special type of adverse event. Change from baseline in antigen-specific binding antibody titers. This is what's important to see whether the vaccine is working. Change from baseline in antigen-specific interferon gamma cellular immune response, IFNY, and that's a baseline up to 52 years. So that's another important space study that's being measured as an outcome. And I'm not going to go through like the full-on eligibility criteria for patients who are included and who are excluded based on its screening process. Now, what I know is that the location of the study is happening in Kentucky, Missouri, Pennsylvania. The sponsorship is with CEPI, as what I mentioned, and the investigator for the study is Shuping Yang with a PhD medical degree. And as you can see here, the identifier for this trial is specified here. It's been last verified August 2020. And as you can see here, it is a regulated drug and a regulated device that's being clinically evaluated, and the device product has not been approved or cleared by use by the United States Food and Drug Administration. Okay, so that's all I wanted to sum up, but overall, the data is looking good, and I foresee phase 2, phase 3, preparation to begin at least for Inovio, Pharmaceuticals, INO 4800. So thank you so much for watching another episode at Investing with All I See Is W. Thank you.